This week on LPGA Today. One of the jewels of the Atlantic coastline, Palm Beach welcomes the stars of the LPGA Tour at the Trump International Golf Course for the ADT Championship, where Annika Sorenstam looked to defend her title and conquer her 8th crown of the season. We sat down with Korean Hee-Won Han and also with Lorena Ochoa from Mexico. And join us for the pairing party at the exuberant Mar-a-Lago Hotel.
Hi, I'm Christina Kim and you're watching LPGA Today.
Sponsored by ADT, American Residential and Commercial Security, and BMW, Stop Dreaming, Start Driving, the ultimate driving machine. The LPGA landed last week in the luxurious city of Palm Beach, Florida, for the ADT Championship. The beautiful beaches and blue waters of the Atlantic Ocean are natural treasures, welcoming the stars of the LPGA. Beyond its charming shores, the city's affluence is displayed most prominently at the quaint Grand Avenue, lined with exclusive boutiques with all the offerings that a pampered heart could desire. A short tour through the town revealed grandiose mansions throughout its tranquil residential areas. The Spanish architecture characteristic of the homes and commercial districts is reminiscent of the region's earliest settlers. Located in West Palm Beach is Trump International Golf Course. It elevates the elegance and style that the city represents. The LPGA golfers have a sense of arrival with the clubhouse that is significantly elevated from street level. Its quality and Mediterranean style are combined with a focus on golf. Superstar rivals Annika Sorenstam and Carrie Webb even have lockers directly across from each other. The competition will be held on a golf course with a world-acclaimed layout. No expense was spared in creating this unparalleled world-class facility, one of the most expensive projects in modern golf history. Its rolling hills were all man-made in the flat seaside location. Jim Fazio designed the impressive championship course at Trump International. The beautiful design includes the 17th waterfall and the 18th dogleg to the right, a perfect finishing challenge for a course in a perfect setting. We caught up with Christina Kim at the Trump International Golf Course practicing on the greens. She shared with us her very particular method to improve her putting.
Every now and then I try and practice a little bit without wearing my shoes, wearing either just bare feet or my socks, because I like to think that I'd like to sort of draw myself into becoming one with nature, and maybe drawing a little bit of, the life from the grass into my toes or into my body somehow, so I can learn to read and putt on the greens a little bit better.
And drawing life into her putting was something she was seriously thinking about a week ago.
Last week, I was playing in the final round with Lieselot Neumann in the Mitchell Company LPGA Tournament of Champions, and it was just watching her putt, it was just sort of weird because I've always wanted to putt like her because she's a very good putter, and so that's one of the reasons why, I putt with my shoes off, is to try and get better feel. Maybe I'm taking it the wrong way, but I'm trying. It's a new sensation, on your feet when you feel the cool grass, or maybe it's a little wet or something like that, but you learn a lot about, different kinds of grass and just, different textures and everything, and so it's sort of, I like to think it helps promote better feel around the greens.
Admittedly, her technique may be somewhat unorthodox, but Christina is very clear on why she sticks with it.
Sometimes you just need to make golf a little fun.
Well, one person who doesn't walk the course barefoot is tournament official Jane Reynolds. She sat down to give us some insight about how she facilitates officiating as an advance official.
I'm doing all kinds of things during that week, specifically helping set the golf course up for the tournament. So I'm marking hazards, I'm defining out of bounds. So I'm doing a lot of walking along and drawing lines on the ground to define the hazards. if you do a good job in defining and marking the golf course, hopefully that's going to minimize any kind of rulings you have during tournament week.
Potential problems like this one are identified far in advance of tournament play by the VP of Tournament Operations, Barbara Trammell. Her team also makes preparations for lost balls or any other problem that might arise in competition.
We review any potential rules problems that we might have and discuss those as a group to know how to handle particular rules calls. Here, for instance, at Trump International, the overall condition of the golf course is so good that we marked very few areas, and most of the areas were just a result of the hurricane damage. Usually on Tuesdays, as is today, we do the first round starting times and post those for players. So we literally are on the golf course from the first starting time to the last group putts out, to be available for any rules that are called, and also to monitor the pace of play. So a good portion of our day is just to make sure the pace of play moves along quickly, and that takes up a good bit of our responsibilities.
Without question, we're able to enjoy smooth tournament play thanks to the unseen efforts that these ladies put in days before the tour comes into town. Proudly set on a prominent spot of the Atlantic shoreline, Palm Beach is one of the most polished jewels on the United States East Coast. For the third consecutive year, the exquisite Trump International Golf Club hosted the Ladies Professional Golf Tour, the LPGA, to celebrate the ADT Championship, which carries a substantial $1 million purse. The one to beat this week was the current #1 player in the world, Annika Sorenstam from Sweden. She moved ahead, hitting 66 and 68 on Thursday and Friday. On Saturday, after a difficult round, Sorenstam finished the day at 72 with this putt, staying on top of the leaderboard. On Sunday, her challengers would be the Miami native Christy Kerr, with 3 victories so far this year, and Jennifer Rosales, a native of Manila in the Philippines, who already has 1 victory under her belt this year. This rising star was also crowned Rookie of the Year in 2000. Stay with us for the exciting conclusion of play at the ADT Championship. Also, we'll join the players and the commissioner for the glamorous festivities that were hosted at the luxurious Mar-a-Lago Hotel.
You're watching LPGA Today.
The amount of swings and putts that the ladies hit in just one tournament are enough to make you wonder how their clubs hold up to the demanding conditions. Well, we discovered that they have a little help from a craftsman behind the scenes.
What I do out here is take care of the maintenance of the golf clubs for the girls, make sure that the grips are in good repair, make sure all their shafts are still straight. If they want to try new equipment, that's when we'll try new shafts, new heads. We try to fine-tune their game in the 3 days previous to the tournament.
But its craftsmanship wasn't born of pure selflessness.
I started learning this skill when I found out I had a very bad temper on the golf course. I'd come home with 2 or 3 broken clubs a week, and it was getting to the point where it was too expensive to take it to someone else. So I ended up learning how to repair my own clubs just out of self-defense.
Now the LPGA players can turn to someone when in doubt about their clubs.
I have one in particular that decided that 2 days before the tournament that her shafts were not correct in her clubs, and we had to pick a new shaft for her the day before the Pro-Am. Well, we redid them that night, played with them in the Pro-Am the next day, and she went out and won the tournament that weekend. with a brand new set of clubs.
Now that's turning a challenge in life into a positive for himself and those around him. On Sunday afternoon, these were the standings through the 17th hole. Christy Kerr finished early. With a fabulous round of 68, she would wait for Annika Sorenstam to play the 18th. Meanwhile, Jennifer Rosales finished the event with a masterful shot, so spectacular that it was chosen as the shot of the tournament. Her score would keep her from contention, however, settling for 5th place overall and a prize of $50,000. Not bad for a dream weekend in Palm Beach. Now it was Annika's turn to sink the putt and win, or go to a tiebreaker. Both players returned to the 18th for a sudden death playoff. The two opponents landed in the fairway with solid tee shots. However, the second shot to the green was a different matter. Christy went into the water, and Annika went into the crowd. With her last chance to stay alive in the playoff, Kerr hit an aggressive chip. She left the door open for Annika, and the renowned Swede took advantage to defend her crown at the ADT Championship, achieving her 8th victory of the year, taking home a juicy check for $250,000 and holding her position at the top of the world ranking. The second place prize of $115,000 put Christy Kerr in the 5th spot. Meg Mallon holds her position in 4th. In 3rd place, we have Lorena Ochoa from Mexico. 2nd place is held by the elegant Korean Grace Park. And following her win at the ADT Championship in Palm Beach, Annika Sorenstam solidifies her lead in the world of women's golf. Last week's ADT Championship got underway at the exquisite Mar-a-Lago, former residence of real estate mogul Donald Trump. This grandiose mansion, converted into one of the most elegant hotels in the world, housed the stars of the LPGA in high style and luxurious accommodations. The magnificent ballroom was the setting for the Pro-Am pairing party. This elegant mixer served for the selection of the next day's pairings. A festive ambiance always welcomes the pros, officials, sponsors, and special guests at this fashionable event. It's an excellent opportunity to mingle and mix with everyone involved in the tournament. And speaking of the people involved, we had the opportunity to speak with Commissioner Ty Vota, who shared his thoughts about the 2005 season.
About in 2005, and I just can't wait for it to begin.
The selected pairings got underway the following morning. The pros had their first run of the course, and the amateurs an experience of a lifetime. Unless you're Donald Trump, of course, where playing alongside the world's #1 player, Annika Sorenstam, could come around more than once. Play was interrupted by bad weather as showers swept across the plush course.
And we could see a few patchy sprinkles or even a very brief light shower over the next 30 minutes, lasting maybe an hour.
Indeed, the passing rain cloud gave way to improving playing conditions. The pairings all made it through the 18th to hole out. The day's participants made their way to the clubhouse and its splendid dining hall for the handing out of the trophies. And as a side note, The Pro-Am event was a showcase of elegance and class, as could be expected at Trump Golf International for the ADT Championship. When we return, there's the World Wide Web, but at every tournament, there's a smaller information web that keeps us up to date with our favorite players. Also, join us inside the players with star Hee-Won Han from Korea.
지금 여러분은 LPGA Today를 보고 계십니다.
Hee-Won Han's career has taken the young golfer from her native Korea to Japan, and now to competing in the LPGA.
안녕하세요, 한희원 프로입니다. Hi, my name is Hee-Won Han. My best shot is like it's almost my shot because sometimes pretty good, sometimes pretty bad. That's why. But especially my best part is my iron shot because I hit a lot close to the pin. And my worst shot is that's too difficult to say because sometimes pretty good, sometimes pretty bad. That's why I just, especially my worst part is putting. I still a lot of practicing my putting. 제가 골프를 시작하게 된 이유는 I just start golf. My dad loves golf, and then my grandparents loves golf. That's why they just want me to golf. That's why I just play golf right now. 골프장에서 나가면요, I just normally do out of the golf course. I just watching tennis. I like watching tennis, and then I like to do a shopping.
Spending relaxing time with friends is obviously important to Hee-Won Han, something that no doubt contributes to her rising success with the LPGA. When any of the LPGA's top players breaks away with the lead, we want to know what her strategy was. When an up-and-coming player breaks into the spotlight with a surprising round, we want to become familiar with her. Well, our curiosity isn't magically quenched. A lot of carefully coordinated work goes into bringing this information to the world. Every LPGA tournament has a media center set up for an efficient flow of news stories from the competition. In the eye of this information storm is Media Relations Coordinator Dana Von Lauda.
I am pretty much the liaison between the players and the media, and help set up interviews and coordinate press conferences and try to monitor in interview rooms like this. Try to keep everything calm between the reporters.
That's a full load in a 4-day competition with a demand for numerous press conferences and interviews per day. And if that wasn't enough, imagine carrying this off in another country where language can be a barrier.
When I was in Japan last year, they use different terminology for different things, like they call the money leader the money queen. So they were asking me who's the money queen, and I'm just trying to figure it out, and that's the only words they know is money queen.
But when the player in question is not available to bring to the media center for the press, she still needs to be reached.
Especially in the off-season when the reporters don't have access to the players as much because they're not at tournament site, we just phone call them and email them, and a lot of them have instant message, so we just text message on the phone, call them, any sort of way to communicate with them.
This any kind of way attitude comes in handy at awkward moments between reporters and the players.
I try to make a lot of jokes, and the players that I know that are funny, like the young, energetic players, and a lot of the players that have been around and that have a good sense of humor. So, I don't know, that's a good way to break the ice.
We wondered if she looks forward to those calm days when everything goes smoothly.
Yeah, that never happens.
Well, it sure looks smooth when the champions make it to the press conference to answer questions. On today's Tip of the Week, Sherry Hayes, Director of Instruction at Carlsbad Golf Center, shows us how to improve balance and swing.
When you're on the golf course, you have to have a sense that you're just losing it, and the harder you try, the worse it gets. Well, I know I have. And I've come up with a good drill that will help you kind of get back your rhythm, your balance of your swing, and also give you a sense of where the club is as you're swinging. It goes like this. It's called the piccolo drill. You hold the club just as normal. You take all your fingers off and just leave your index and your thumb, both hands on the golf club. You start with a fairly slow swing, Just feeling the weight and the balance of the club. Let it get bigger and bigger. And pretty soon, with that light grip pressure, you just start feeling more of the club again. So that's the piccolo drill. And for any more help, contact your local LPGA teaching and club professional.
The LPGA's state-of-the-art scoring system is an indispensable feature that travels with the tour to every tournament.
Run the scoring system for the LPGA, which consists of 10 scoreboards along with a LED video screen. And then each hole has handheld computers on it. Those computers are used to collect the scores and the statistics, which from each green gets fed to my truck back here.
The truck then distributes the data through the internet and to the television networks. But the attending public is not lost on the system's global scale.
And we also network computers out all over the course for the fans to look at. It has the same data, and the whole course is networked together.
The tour's attention to its public, local and global, is simply unsurpassed. Stay with us for a preview of next week's tournament in beautiful Atlanta, Georgia, where Grace Park will defend her title in the Atlanta Country Club event. We'll also hear from the reigning Rookie of the Year, Lorena Ochoa.
Hola, soy Lorena Ochoa de Guadalajara, México, y ustedes están viendo LPGA Today.
The Rookie of the Year of 2003, Lorena Ochoa, is not only one of the few Latina players in the LPGA today, but her vertiginous rise has taken her to the 3rd position in this international tour. And she's collected close to $1.5 million in prize money so far this year.
Bueno, empecé a jugar el golf a la edad de 5 años. I started playing golf when I was 5 years old. I played my first state tournament when I was 6, my first national tournament when I was 7, and my first international tournament when I was 8. And that's pretty much. I mean, I've been playing golf all my life. I'm very proud to be Mexican, to represent my country all over the world, and it's a lot of fun to be out here.
It sure can be fun when you know you have your family behind you in what you do. Lorena's father helps her train for her events to this day. Even in an individual sport like golf, success can only come with team effort. Lorena's father is the cornerstone of the team that she has built around herself. It is clear that she was able to focus on her career goal, and she disciplined herself to hone her skills with the assistance of her team. Once her vision was clear and her objectives well-defined, her success in golf became inevitable, as her short but accomplished track record demonstrates. Lorena's journey has required much discipline and dedication, but she knows others can follow in her steps.
Bueno, yo creo que lo más importante, se lo recomiendo a todos los niños y niñas que están. The best advice I could give to any girl or boy that are playing golf right now is that they really look for the opportunity to come to the state and look for a scholarship in any university, wherever they want, wherever they can. It's the best opportunity they can get, just to, you know, be part of a team, practice with the team, have a coach, great facilities, great opportunities. You learn alone how to play, and you get good experience inside and outside the golf course that will help you a lot to be here on tour in the future.
Her love of golf focused her vision for her dream, developed her skills in college, and made that vision a reality. Lorena's 2 victories so far this year are an inspiration to us all, and she is a fine role model to young players around the world. The LPGA Tour travels to the seat of Southern hospitality, Atlanta, Georgia. The lush environment and dense trees of this modern metropolis is a reminder of how deeply it is rooted in history and tradition. Grace Park from Korea, the courageous #2 player in the world, returns to defend her title against world-class competition. This important event in the Tour's calendar has attracted the top players in the sport for a great competition this week. As the players jostle for position on the money list, will Grace Park be able to stave off the competition? Or will a new champion be crowned? We'll see this weekend in Atlanta. We invite you to tune in to the live action this weekend. Coverage starts at 3 p.m. on ESPN, Thursday and Friday, and at 2 p.m. on ABC, Saturday and Sunday. Thank you for joining us for another look into the LPGA Tour. We look forward to seeing you again next week, right here on the LPGA Today.